Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's episode 86 and today we're going to be doing something that I have seen a ton down in the comment section for probably around about 50 episodes now, ever since I started work on the industrial district. One of the builds that you guys have been suggesting is the AFK fish farm. We're going to be hooking that up into the storage system. We're going to be doing a ton of work over there. We're going to try our best to get one of the best AFK fish farms we can possibly get, to get hundreds upon thousands of free items, because let's face it, they are essentially free. I mean, you just sit there, swing around a fishing rod, and then suddenly you have tons and tons of free stuff. But before we begin, I just want to mention something. As I mentioned it in the previous episode of Hermitcraft, YouTube seems to have changed the way that you get notified of receiving videos. A lot of people didn't understand my explanation yesterday, so what I would like you to do is go beneath the video and click the little bell next to the subscribe button. That means that you will always get notified of my videos. There'll be a picture of that bell on the screen right now, so you can do that right now. Just go ahead, do it, and I will love you forever. Thank you ever so much. Now, there is a bit of an issue. In Minecraft 1.11, which is the next up-and-coming update that we're getting snapshots for, fishing farms have actually been broken. The original designs for fishing farms have been completely fixed, and now they don't work anymore. But thankfully, there is a new mechanic that has been discovered, and Exumavoid has made a tutorial on it. So I'll put a link to his tutorial down in the description. We're currently in the world from that video, and I'm going to try my best to demonstrate this in Minecraft 1.10. So currently we're in Minecraft 1.10, and then quickly I'm going to jump into the snapshots to see if it's still functional, so that we know that this design is future-proof. So I believe all I have to do is right-click on the bottom of the fence, and then there we go. That has cast the bob into the water, and now all I have to do is hold down the right-click button. Eventually I will catch a fish, and then that piston will retract once we get the fish, and the fish will drop down into the hoppers and make its way into the storage system. That is the theory. It does seem to be working. I've done a tiny bit of testing, so now let's pop into the snapshot. So here comes the moment of truth. Does it work in the latest snapshot? No, it doesn't look like it does, guys. It doesn't look like it does! Oh no! Oh, how infuriating. Thankfully, my plans have not been ruined by the new snapshot, because I have found a fix for the design by someone called CubedHost. Now, I will put their video down in the description because it is absolutely fantastic, by a very small little YouTuber. But as you can see, this thing is now fully functional, and that is thanks to the note block. We now have a lovely little ringtone to the AFK fish farm as well. But this is a fix for Panda's farm, and as you can see, here we've got the note block out the back, we have got the iron door in front, and then the iron door periodically closes whenever the bobber goes down, which means that we then retract the fishing rod, grab the fish, and then throw out the fishing rod once again. So it seems to be working very nicely. I'm so chuffed with this. Our episode plan is still going to work, because I got very upset just then. So after that little panic right there, we're now back on the Hermitcraft server, ready to start constructing this thing. And I've been trying to work out where I want to build it, because of course we're going to be doing this in the industrial district. And I was thinking just this little spot right here. I mean, it doesn't have to be particularly big. You saw how tiny these designs are. We only have to make it around about this large. Now, I am considering making it a tiny bit wider, so maybe taking it out to around about here. But I want it to match up with the edges of the industrial district, simply because I think that looks really cool. So I would say, yeah, these few blocks, we can drop them down a few. Perhaps create like a little AFK zone filled with various different AFK bits and pieces. I think that sounds like a good idea to me. I forgot how slow it is to mine without a Haste 2 beacon. I mean, what did I do before I had that? There were like a good 40 episodes on the Hermitcraft server where I didn't have a beacon. It must have just taken ages for me to do anything. I would say that is good enough for me. We've got a 7 wide area, and it is 6 blocks tall, and I believe our fishing farm is 5 by 5. However, there's a chance I've completely mismeasured that one. So now what we've got to do is we've got to gather up some redstone resources. We are going to need droppers, hoppers, comparators, repeaters, redstone torches, pistons, and other bits and bobs, I can imagine. So this is going to take quite a few of them. Going to have to pop up to the drone, pick up some of those, and then hopefully we can get this built nice and quickly. I've decided to be smart about this one. I popped into MC Edit, and I have highlighted the design that I'm going to be using right here, and I'm just going to click this button right here, and there we go. Those are all the items. So we're going to need around about 30 blocks, 50 air blocks. That's going to be difficult to get, but we're also going to need a handful of redstone. Actually, a lot less redstone than I was expecting. This doesn't need too much, you know, like 3 redstone repeaters, a few tripwires and things, a bunch of hoppers. Yeah, this is going to be easy. Oh, well, maybe not. by the look of things. I've got a bit of a confession to make. I've actually constructed this thing twice already. I built it once too high and once too close to this wall, but finally we have got the AFK fish farm pretty much all in place, and I have to say it's been a very quick building process. I mean, all that work, all of that preparation for what has essentially been a maybe 15-20 minute building project, if that, and here it is. That was the final piece of redstone. As far as I can tell, everything should be now fully completed. All we have to do is stand on this pressure plate right here and see what happens. Maybe we need to flick on the lever and see if the redstone clock will activate. Hopefully it does. However, I must admit, that doesn't fill me with too much hope, does it? I mean, have I built this wrong? I think I've built it wrong. There's something that's definitely not working right here. I managed to find it. The cause of the problem was me forgetting to place in a repeater, so I guess that's one for the spoon counter, but there we go. This thing is now opening and closing, and when we stand on this right here, as you can see, that shuts off the entire mechanism, which is absolutely perfect. Our AFK fish farm is fully functional and sort of cool looking. I mean, it does look a little bit strange just sat in the middle of this area right here. Oh, I'm really tempted to build it again, to be honest. I sort of want to build it closer to this wall. It looks horrible at this point in time. For the fourth time today, this thing is now fully constructed. All I have to do is place in the door, which I think I have to do like this, and then it should be open. Yeah, so that is absolutely perfect, which means that we are generally right-clicking, and then when we stand over this, then we are constantly right-clicking until we stand off this, and then the door closes, which means that we will retract our fishing bobber thing, which means that we will catch a fish. In theory, I hope. All of this is completely theoretical, because the thing is, I have not actually tried this out on a multiplayer server yet, and there are often some issues with fish farms on multiplayer servers. So we're about to find out if I have totally wasted a few hours of my life here. Here comes the moment of truth. We are placing in the water, and we are firing our fishing rod, and yeah, it looks like this doesn't work. This totally isn't working, is it? Maybe we need to slow down the redstone clock a tiny bit. Perhaps add like a few ticks on the repeaters right here. I've just come up with a realization. Guys, I've just realized something. Of course this doesn't work in this design doesn't work in 1.10. We're actually going to have to modify it a little bit, and I've already come up with a modification which should hopefully work, which is going to involve a sticky piston pushing a block. Maybe that will work. I sincerely hope that will work. Or alternatively, instead of bodging my modification, we could just go back to the original Minecraft 1.10 design that works a little bit like this. So there we go. We now have ourselves a working AFK fish farm that doesn't use the modification that I created in the start of the episode for Minecraft 1.11 because that doesn't work yet, but in the future it will. So then I'll modify it when Minecraft 1.11 releases by placing a note block behind this door. But for now, we are not going to have any note blocks behind the door, and it is going to work something a little bit like this. So here we go. It is done. It is finally completed, and I am so over the moon. And look, we just caught something. We actually just caught something. Look, let's look. An ink sac. I mean, I hope... Oh, no. I've just thought of something. We've built it within squid spawning zones. Squids can spawn in this, and they could potentially break the design. No! No! Oh, well, we'll have to see if that happens. Just a quick note to say that I've been doing a little bit of testing right here, and it seems to be working quite nicely. Haven't seen any items not working. I've caught every single fish that is bobbed down on, which is brilliant. And so far, squid haven't been an issue. So I guess now we've got to decorate this place. And here we go, final few blocks to go now, just placing all of those, and there it is. This place is now officially a part of the industrial district. It doesn't become an official part of the industrial district until it has the famous sandstone and red stained clay colour scheme. So it is, this place is now looking fancy, but now we need to work out how are we actually going to be getting into this place, because currently obviously it's like a completely open roof. We're going to add in the glass in a second, But as far as entrances are concerned, obviously, over by the villager trading area, we've got the trapdoors. They're a little bit ugly, okay? We don't want to be using those because that's a tiny bit rubbish. Instead, what I thought we could do is use some redstone. So we're going to create a trapdoor up at the top that has a slime block launcher down at the bottom. So when we want to leave, we just fire ourselves out using the slime block launcher. And when we want to drop in, we just open up the trapdoor. That seems like a pretty good idea to me. I think that'd be good fun. So I'm going to gather up some pistons, some slime blocks, some immovable objects, and once again, all of the standard redstone componentry. Now, I thought it would probably be a good idea to design this in a redstone testing world before I just hop straight onto the Hermitcraft server. And I have to say, I'm glad that I did, because I've managed to come up with a really compact design that I probably wouldn't have done in survival mode. So here it is. These are all of our sticky pistons. We have got our flush with the floor trapdoor, and then also we've got our slime block launcher. All we have to do, hit this button, the trapdoor opens up, we get launched out onto the surface, which is perfect. And then from the top, we'll have a button that just runs into exactly the same input, which does exactly the same thing. So this is the design that we are going to be constructing. Really nice and easy, looks pretty fancy too, and I'm sure it won't take too long. A pretty large quantity of our trapdoor mechanism is all in place. I just think I need some redstone right here, which should extend those bottom pistons. And then for the top ones, I think we need a repeater set to 3 ticks, some redstone, and then I guess some redstone sort of running down onto that block. They should power and everything should now extend. Fantastic. So when we hit that button right there, everything retracts and everything extends. And I have to say, I absolutely love the motion of this mechanism. It looks so mechanical, doesn't it? We've got lots of pistons moving, lots of different things powering. Awesome. Okay, so now we just have to add in the slime block launcher that's going down at the bottom, and then we'll fire ourselves up onto the surface. This should just about do it. So the redstone goes across here, and then we need our 2 repeaters, and I think that's the number of ticks. That should hopefully work. Hit the button. Yeah, that looked positive. That looked really, really positive. So let's give it a go. No? Why did that not work? Why? Oh no, slime blocks on servers. Yes, it seemed to function oddly enough with that number of ticks. Let's see if that works again, just to make sure. Okay, well that seems to be a reliable thing. Now I'm stuck in the pistons. How does these... Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. For goodness sake. And there we go, the AFK fishing farm module is now all done and dusted. We hit this button right here, and we should drop down into it, which is brilliant. And then when we hit this button down at the bottom, we get launched out onto the surface. No, is that decided to stop working now as well? No, good. Okay, fantastic. So it does seem to be functional. It's just got a few little teething problems and things. But now what we need to do is we need to hook up the item drops from our AFK fishing farm right here into the gigantic storage system that we have in this area over here. Now, the way that we're going to do it is we're going to be completely avoiding the sorting system. This is going to have its own dedicated line that runs into this set of chests right here. So these 36 double chests right here are going to be the fishing farm modules, and only the fishing farm modules. So that means that they aren't going to be connected to the rest of the sorting system. Hopefully we can manage to do that. So the first thing that we got to do is head off into the shopping district and pick up some wood. Now, I just popped off to the log fellas, but it looks like they've become fairly exclusive. You have to be a part of the log masons to buy from them. So it looks like there is a chance that, yes, Wood World is the place to go. I mean, this place is quite frankly ridiculous. How much is it these days? I have... Pay what you want! Pay what you want! Oh, well, I'm going to say 2 diamonds for 2 stacks. I'm going to be really pleasant here because, to be honest with you, I've got loads of diamonds, and 2 diamonds is nothing for someone like me. So, I have just about managed to find my storage system by doing a few little tunnels and things like that around here. It also goes just straight over this redstone line, but now I need to chuck in all of the hoppers that make their way into these chests. And I have to say, that is going to cost an absolute fortune. I mean, look at this. There's hundreds of them. I don't know if I've got enough hoppers for this. Seriously, this could be bad. Now it's just a case of gathering up some resources to create the item elevator, which is going to send the items from the bottom line of hoppers up so that they can drop down into the storage system. And all we need here is a comparator. And then we have all the redstone, we've got the repeaters. And we've got all of the droppers as well. So we should be good to go on that one. Just going to drop down to the bottom and start chucking this stuff around. So hopefully this design that I've created right here should work and should send all of the items up. It's only a tiny little item elevator, but it requires quite a bit of redstone. So we've got redstone there, there, and there. And then we need blocks running into all of these. And that should just about do the trick. Now, let's take a look inside all of the hoppers. Right, okay, so we've got a bunch of items in there already. Now, if we chuck in some items, alright, we should see that these will make their way up to the top and past the top. Alright? Okay, so I'm going to chuck in these 3 fish right here. And that was it. Now, one of the fish is there, one of the fish is there, and one of the fish has made it to the top. Which is cool, as long as they don't get stuck. So if we chuck in this one right here, we should see that that goes there, this one goes here, and then the next one made it through into the system. That's fine. That works for me. This item elevator is going to be perfect. So that means that the AFK fishing farm is finally completed. It's done. Oh my word, it is done. After so many just mess-abouts, so many mess-ups by me, I think we're finally there. So we need to get ourselves a mending fishing rod with Unbreaking 3 and potentially other enchantments too. And then we should be in with a very good ride indeed. Plenty of free items here. Guys, I'm rather upset. I've just turned up to the end, ready to do some enchanting of my fishing rod. For some reason, I only brought 1 lapis with me. I don't know why I did this, but that means that I've got to go all the way back to come all the way back here. Oh, it's just infuriating. Finally, we're back, and let's try this out. Fishing rod into the enchanting table. 3. Yes, Unbreaking 3. That's what we want. I don't know if that's good or not. I feel like that's good. I feel like this is a good one. We've managed to get ourselves a good fishing rod. So I guess the time spent messing around there is well worth it. And I have no idea if this is a massive spoiler right now. But boy, oh boy, doesn't the end look amazing. Did you guys just see that crazy structure right there? I have no idea who's working on that. But that looks fantastic. Wow. 1 final enchantment needs to be done. 22 mending in this villager right here. So let's chuck that in. And chuck that in right there. So now we have ourselves a mending book. And now we need to locate an anvil. Why do I never have any of the things that I need? Fairly certain there's an anvil outside the RV. Yeah, I think that's the one that's nearest. So the final thing that we need to do is chuck mending on this fishing rod, and then it will be good to go for AFK farming. So let's just try and land nice and smoothly right there and make use of the only anvil that I seem to have, which is this one right here. I know, that's completely ridiculous, and at some point it is going to break. Anyway, let's head over to the Elytra launcher, and we're going to fire ourselves up into the sky. Then we're going to drop down into the AFK fish farm. And I'd say I'm going to do this for around about an hour. I'm going to go AFK for about an hour and see if everything is working. And if it is, then I will go AFK overnight and we will see how many ridiculous items we can get in that relatively short space of time. And one thing that I will say is that the Sir Mumbo Quest-A-Lot bots, well, he's looking a little bit rough around the edges, isn't it? I mean, he's got a straight face, he's not looking too happy, so let's see what his emotions are after this hour is finished. Cactus, string, sand, and we do the same thing once again. Cactus, string, sand. You know what, that sounds pretty good to me. Cactus, string, sand, 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 cactus, string. Cactus, string, sand, cactus, string, sand, cactus, string, sand, cactus, string. Hey, that's good. Cactus, pillar, cactus, cactus, pillar, cactus, sand, cactus, pillar, cactus, cactus, pillar, cactus, sprinkle, cactus, string, sand, cactus, string, sand, cactus, string, sand, cactus, string, cactus, string, sand, cactus, string, sand. So, 1 hour has passed, and I have just made my way back onto the Hermitcraft server. Now, I'm going to move my phone from the plus key, and I am going to rebind this key right here back to the right-click buttons. There we go. That should be everything fixed. And also, I'm going to move the screen over to here. Okay, right, we can turn this thing off, and we're going to head through into the storage area and see, has this thing been working? Has it been working, and most importantly, is it efficient? Alright, so here goes. We're now going to drop down to the bottom, and we're going to take a look in this chest. Hopefully the items are actually here, but here goes. No? Oh! Thank goodness! We actually have some items, guys! There's not many of them, like there's not a ridiculous quantity of them, but that is from 1 hour. That isn't so bad. So we've got a bunch of fish, we have got a new fishing rod, we have got this fishing rod right here, another fishing rod, a few saddles. That's not bad. Protection 4 is pretty awesome. And that's not bad either. Hey! Hey, that's pretty good. And this guy right here, he's still going strong. I saw that occasionally, if it was like spamming for a while, because occasionally it just gets stuck, then it loses durability like this, and that's what it was doing towards the end. But as soon as you catch a few fish, or catch a few bits, then this goes back to normal. So by the look of things, this is a fully functional system. This is fully functional. It's actually working. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go AFK overnight. Going to go AFK overnight, and we are going to see how many items we can get during that time, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it's a good number of them, because, well, this is looking pretty promising. So here we are. I have just got back into the office, and I'm very happy to see that I still have a fishing rod, and this thing appears to still be working. So I'm going to remove the weight from my keyboard, and I am going to rebind this key right here, retract my fishing rod, and make my way over to the storage system, because I am so excited to see how many items we managed to get in this time. I mean, hopefully, it's going to be ridiculous. So here goes. We're about to find out what this has done. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? What? What? Are you joking me? What's happened? We've been AFK fishing all night, and all we got is a mending bow. What's happened here? What has happened? Has my redstone broken? What's gone wrong? Oh, this is so disappointing. Okay, right, let's take a look. Let's take a look out the back here. I don't even have my axe or anything on me, but we're just gonna pop on through and see what's happened. I have no idea where that fence post just went either, so that's not a good start. Oh. I'm so disappointed, guys. I'm actually so disappointed. Yep, there's no items in here. Oh, there's one bow. We have a punch 2 bow, which is good. I mean, that's great. That is great. Fantastic for flying and elytra and things like that. But there's nothing wrong here. No, nothing wrong whatsoever. Absolutely nothing is wrong. I guess I must have just done it wrong. Well, that is absolutely heartbreaking, I have to say. I am totally heartbroken. I mean, what was wrong? I don't understand what was wrong. I'm so confused right now. I was doing it like this is how I was doing it, and then eventually the bobber will bob, and it will get stuck in the right place, and we will catch fish. That's what's meant to happen. I mean, it doesn't seem to be working right now. Oh, I don't know what to say. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry that this AFK fish farm hasn't worked overnight. I'm going to look into it, and I'm going to try and work out exactly what has gone wrong here, because clearly there has been a slight mistake made by me. It's entirely made by me, because the system is functional, and we saw that for the hour it worked. So clearly something messed up between that time, and then it didn't work since then. But there we have it, ladies and gents. That is all I've got time for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.